Yash. All right, I got a question here I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about some practical things also, how to make this self-realization easier. It doesn't do any good just to say we don't exist, we're already enlightened, done. It's like, okay, yeah. So let's see, this is from Johns Jones. I'm interested in your perspective on what makes a life situation to be able to wake up. What life situation can you have to make it easier to wake up? I've heard many teachers say that you need to be living a life full of relationships and different situations in order to be able to wake up. There's no standard here. You can't, a real teacher knows that. So when he says things, a lot of times he's talking specifically to a certain audience or their level of consciousness. Like he's able to see all that. You can't just take that and throw that as a blanket over all 8 billion people. It just doesn't, doesn't appeal. Doesn't work. So, you want, if you're in different situations, if you're in a cave, he's drawn to a cave. He wants to go to a cave. I'm more introverted and I usually stay to myself. Well, me too. What are you going to do? Like, we're living in a time and age, like, it's not like, I like the audience on this channel, by the way. I get some good ones. Like, I feel like everybody's on point, I don't, I look at sometimes the comments on other channels. I'm like, damn, I'm glad you guys are there. So, it's not like you go outside and this is the normal level of consciousness that we're trying to look at things and have introspection and we're interested in waking up to our true nature. So yeah, like I would say to myself too, So I think that's healthy and normal. Are you introverted if you were around a group of people where we're all full on and we're talking from spirit, about spirit, and to spirit? I don't think you'd be introverted then. So this introversion, is that a word? I think that's normal. I'm also like, what are we going to talk about? If I go into town or I go anywhere, what are we going to talk about? Small talk, formalities. Hi, how are you? Nice weather. What's going to happen with Trump or there's this girl that, she's with this guy now instead of him, and he's doing, like, what are we going to, like, stay to yourself, man. For the most part, he likes to stay to himself. I like calm environments where I can meditate a lot and be free within myself. This is healthy, man. You see, it's too bad the world will turn this around and make it look like there's something wrong with somebody that doesn't want to be around nonsense and instead wants to do self-reflection and quiet the mind and realize your true nature. The conditioning is that there's something wrong with that. See, a lot of things on this planet, it's opposite. A lot of things are opposite. So this is the case. This is opposite. It's not true. It is true what you're saying, like, be by yourself for a while, meditate, and then you feel free within. Yeah, I'm a proponent of that. Here, watch. I worry that maybe I'm just not stepping out of my comfort zone, though. You have to discern and know. You have to feel. You see, the mind can wear the God hat and say, like, you're not stepping out of your comfort zone. The mind is sensing its dissolution, and so it's gonna hit you with some spiritual cliche and say you need to go, step out of your comfort zone and go to a bar or something and talk whatever they're talking about. So catch that. I feel drawn to the cave analogy, but nobody says you can actually wake up that way. It's because the people that are in the cave, they're not writing or making videos or talking to people much because they're in the cave. They don't want to talk. They're like what you're saying. Like, they're done. They want to be to themselves. You go to the Himalayas, and if you just keep walking around out there, you'll find somebody, maybe. if you don't die, or if they want you to find them. There's a lot of yogis that are out in the cave somewhere. So the question is it your destiny? Is this your destiny to do that? Now, I'd suggest, and I always say, I'm a proponent of writing a desire list, writing the things you want to experience, and then go right now and go experience it. I also had this desire to be in the cave when I was in India. It sounded cool, And so I was in South India somewhere, and I was walking through nature, everything. I was looking for my spot, and I found this like rock formation that resembled a cave pretty good. And I'm like, I found it. I'm just going to sit here and meditate. I lasted a few hours maybe. Yeah, it was, especially when it started to get dark and you hear stuff like moving around and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to my room. But it was cool. I experienced it. And then it burned this fantasy out of my mind of thinking that that's what I need to do, that will accelerate my spiritual practice. Whatever we need to do, whatever our destiny is, life's going to prescribe the best thing to us that will help accelerate this evolution, this awakening. We don't need to, we can't figure that out logically. But go try what you want to try and go experience that. And you'll get confirmation if this is good or not good. Nisargadatta, once he became awake, he went to the Himalayas because he had some concept in his head that he's someone who's realized their true nature. They should go be out in the Himalayas because that's just what you do. And so he was walking around out there and he saw some student from or some friend from his past that he knew, and his friend asked him, like, why are you out here? His friend could sense that wasn't his destiny. Somehow energetically, he could just tell, like, that didn't really match. And he says, because I'm a yogi, like, this is what you do. He says, no, there's no standard with that, man. He says, what does your family say? It doesn't matter. I'm a yogi. He says, man, go back home to your family and, you just live your life like that. You don't have to be here. It woke him up. He started thinking, he's like, yeah, you're right. What the hell am I doing out in the Himalayas? Like, I got a nice shop and I can smoke my beaties and I'm going back home. So that's what he did. But he had to try it. So we got to try things to see. Man, I was gonna touch. I might make a separate video on this about the 4 practical things to make life situation easier. Or I mean, to things you can do in your life to accelerate this spiritual awakening. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me know though in the comments if you want me to do that, because there's certain things like preserving our sexual energy, certain diet, lifestyle habits, and being free of addictions and attachments, all that stuff, because that keeps the mind restless. What we eat and everything it can make the mind sattvic or rajasic or tamasic. So obviously this plays a part in this awakening because we're in this physical machine. So we gotta abide by certain laws of creation to help us transcend the machine. So that plays a part. But I'm feeling, I don't know. Maybe I'll talk. Damn, I'm acting like I don't know what to do, because it's fun. If I ate hamburgers and nachos every day, 3 times a day, and hot dogs, my mind would be much more disturbed than if I'm eating predominantly fruit in the morning. If I'm super hydrated and alkalized, drinking tonics. You can see my other channel, True Health. I talk more about diet and things like that. And then for lunch or dinner, I have a nice grounding meal, sweet potatoes and vegetables and rice. I suggest those who are single get a rice cooker. They're awesome. You just put everything in the cooker, let it cook. And then when it shuts off and on the warm mode, so you can go out and do stuff and come back and your food's ready. I love the rice cooker. I don't think I could live without it. So I make that. That's a nice grounding meal. And then if I get a little hungry after that, before I go to bed to ground, I'll put some homemade peanut butter on a piece of vegan bread or something, you know. Anyway, that produces a very sattvic type energy. It balances the energies. The mind's more quiet and calm, hence meditation's easier. We gotta introspect through our lives and write down any addictions or attachments we have to things that we feel are causing a problem, so that we can look at that and see. Guys who are looking at stuff on the internet, sexual things, and then, you know, masturbating and doing that every day, you lose your energy, man. Like, you're losing that. And girls do it too, by the way. I talk to them. Because it's a habit. It's an escape from this inner restlessness that actually a sadhana and spiritual practice can bring up. It brings up all this suppression and stuff, and our energies that we didn't know were there, and then it can look messy, so then the mind looks for a loophole to escape. And then it finds these aversions via certain habits and attachments. But the whole sexual habit can be a big one. And that can really block one from having the mind quiet to where we can drop down into ourself. So we got to check that. So we got diet that's important, sexual energy, conserving that. Also, we need energy for transformation. For this whole alchemic process, if it's really happening, meaning channels are opening, subtle levels of insight we're getting access to, you know, subtle realizations and downloads. You need energy for that. When we're losing our sexual energy, we become dull and tamasic. What are you going to do? Just repeat all day long, I don't exist, I don't exist? You know, like, yeah, it's just not so easy. So when we preserve our sexual energy, we have more energy for transformation, spiritual transformations. This is the big thing. It's a big deal. This is why, yeah, this is the most important ingredient the body makes, sexual energy. Now, those who are addicts and do this, they like to try to debunk me. And I say, man, cool. Like, do whatever you want to do. I'm not. Like, whatever. All right, so those are two things. And then the third thing is, like, just be in nature, as opposed to being locked up in a room with air conditioning with your TV on, watching violent movies or sexual movies. Like, get out in nature. Go to the park if you're in a city. Just go stand under a tree somewhere, you know, or find a national park that you can walk around on. And if you're near a river, go to a river. You're at a beach, go to the beach. Go to a pond and feed the ducks. I used to like to do that when I was in Florida. Or, you know, get outside. This is a healthy lifestyle habit. Watch your company. Who are you spending time with? Don't be around people who are going to bring you down. I made a video about that, toxic relationships. Just toxic people, period. Be around people who elevate you. Otherwise, be like my man. He just says he'd rather be alone. Yeah, be alone. But you're not alone. Be alone as your true self. I'm going to make a video, be alone as everything. So, lifestyle habits. Comb through your life, construct your life, and get a good routine that, damn, there's a lot of bugs, that produces a calm mind. And after I said there's a lot of bugs, they kind of went away. That produces a calm mind and raises your frequency, okay? Because then the higher the frequency of your body mind, the easier your sadhana and spiritual practice is going to be. So those are three things. What's the fourth? Because I think I said I'll give you 4 practical things. I kind of threw in together lifestyle habits with company, good company and stuff, but can I give a 4th tip? I mean, I don't know, plant medicine, is that a I was going to make a separate channel on plant medicine a while ago, but then I realized having 3 channels is like enough. Like, even that, I can see later I'm not going to be able to answer everyone's questions, you know. But see, let's say some therapeutic modalities that can help maybe replace certain addictions and habits and attachments, and also kind of renew the body mind. So plant medicine's one. You can do that once in a while. I like microdosing whenever, like after the first couple of years when I really hit the plant medicine hard, I realized that's just too much current. So I started microdosing. That's okay once in a while. You can do that. I like the sauna. I chill at the sauna. That really, if you're stuck in some loop or something in your mind, go to the sauna. It changes the track. The plant medicine does too, for sure. But if you don't have access to that, or you don't want to do that, do something like that, where it kind of just it changes things. Because sometimes the mind can feel real strong, and it'll just seem to trap us. Can't just get this thought out of our head, whatever it is. We need to break that somehow. So you can do plant medicine, you can go to the sauna. These are kind of therapeutic modalities that can help shift things, while raising your frequency at the same time. I don't do many. My therapy is like what I do. See, what I do. I was like, oh, I make videos. Find yourself a good way to be of service. Make videos. You can paint, or just some creative artistic expression. You can paint. You can draw. Music. Okay, I made a video before, meditation through action or something. That's what you do. You got to find your thing. Because we have a lot of life force, especially if you have strong genetics and you're more young and healthy and robust. And you're preserving your sexual energy. This is why people they get into bad sexual habits, because they get too much energy. They don't know how to sublimate it and transmute it. So they start doing bad habits. The energy will be expressed somehow. You can do it through good habits or bad habits. It's going to be expressed. So get yourself some good habits. Find out what your niche is. Mine's making videos. I couldn't draw a stick figure if I tried. I'm not a drawer. And painting, same. Music, same. I just don't. I could rap when I was in high school. I could only do gangster rap. That was it. I couldn't do nice rap, spiritual rap. Anyway, find your thing. Find your way to how to express this creative energy. Then you'll be more sattvic, because then when you do your spiritual practice, your life force isn't going to be moving all around. You're not going to be restless. You're going to be chill, because you've spent your energy properly. Or go volunteer, or do some kind of service. This is my thing. This is what I do. Did you know? All right. Have a good day.